Look at the geopolitical landscape right now. World leaders, economists, and everyday citizens are watching international relations fracture under immense, unseen pressure. This document from 1914 describes exactly this kind of anxiety. It notes that observers recognize something decisive is approaching, that the world is on the verge of a stupendous crisis, and it warns of troublous times soon to come. The author of these words is Ellen G. White, who spent decades documenting a framework of events that she believed would define humanity's final days. While we stand on the threshold of what she calls the crisis of the ages, the text claims there is a way to pass through it without being destroyed, provided we follow the specific instructions left for this generation. This requirement for survival is rooted in a consistent historical rule. Divine judgment is always preceded by a clear, public warning. The pattern repeats throughout history. Noah spent decades predicting a catastrophic flood. Lot explicitly warned his family about the imminent destruction of Sodom. The text points out the consistent outcome. Those who actively watched for the signs and heeded these warnings escaped the destruction. This poses a critical question. If history proves a life-saving warning is always sent before a global catastrophe, what is the message meant for us, and are we completely ignoring it? To understand how easily a warning is missed, look at the historical failure of Christ's disciples. They were explicitly told about the coming crucifixion, yet they were caught entirely unprepared. The root cause was personal bias. Because they desperately wanted a political leader to deliver them from Rome, the true, alarming warning was filtered out. It was literally banished from their minds because it contradicted what they wanted to happen. This is a basic feature of human nature. We naturally ignore terrifying warnings because they disrupt our preferred way of living. Unless we actively bypass our own biases and study the specific instructions provided for our time, we risk repeating the exact mistake of those disciples. Where are these instructions found? For this era, the text points specifically to the biblical books of Daniel and Revelation. The text emphasizes an urgent mandate to dig into these books. It states that the specific light Daniel received was given by God to be understood, especially in these last days. Once these prophecies are understood, believers take on the role of a watchman, and a watchman bears a heavy obligation to speak up. Watchmen are instructed to lift up their voices, give the trumpet a certain sound, and alert both secular society and the church that the day of the Lord is coming suddenly and unexpectedly. The duty is straightforward. Understand the timeline laid out in prophecy and sound the alarm to a sleeping world before the opportunity to prepare is gone. But here we run into a psychological paradox. Constantly studying an impending crisis and acting as a watchman can easily lead to extreme anxiety and paralyzing panic. The text introduces a vital constraint. We are warned against borrowing trouble in regard to the future crisis and making a time of trouble beforehand. We cannot see exact, granular details of future events until they happen, until the metaphorical unrolling of the scroll. There is a severe danger in prophetic hyperfixation. Staring too hard at the end of the world can cause us to abandon our vital present duties, comforts, and blessings. We crush our current lives under the weight of anticipated disasters. The text provides a practical reality. Divine grace is given for actual trials as they happen, not for the phantom troubles we create in our own minds. Prophecy exists to be an anchor for your faith tomorrow, not a weapon that destroys your peace today. You must prepare for the crisis, but you must not let the end of the world stop you from living faithfully in the present.